Hello everyone, this is my second time joining this video. My camera was having problems, but I taped it down, so I think it'll be good now. And it's stable this time, so I'm not holding it anymore. So it should be better. Okay, so someone asked me for the build in the comments if you saw that, so I'll post. This is like a standard build that if it's got it has everything in it and it all works fine. So if you've been playing with the deck and you get to a point where you're like, well, this isn't working, I would come back to this build and then change the cards again individually from here until you figure out what's working and what's not, because this build works pretty solid against everything. So I would come back to this and start here. So for monsters, I'm not going to explain effects. You can go wiki them if you don't know them. But I bet you already do. So Mecha Raptor, play 3. It's mandatory. Then one of the things a lot of the guides will disagree with, they say play 1 to 2. Black Falcon, I say play 3 in every deck. If you can cut it to 2 if you want, but I'd always play at least 2. This is the only one that generates more than one token. Like you can attack on your turn and attack again the next turn. Whereas Tetherwolf, he only makes 1 and then he's done. He's also the only one that has a relevant effect on your turn. If you go like first turn Tetherwolf, summon the token, well, you know what? That token isn't going to do crap for you. Like, they're just going to attack the token. Like, his effect to gain 800 only matters on your turn because they're not going to attack him. Whereas, Black Falcon, like, its effect is huge. Like, I've changed Delilah's to defense before to protect my back row. You can stop Bear from attacking. You can stop the highest attack monster from destroying your Raptor, so it stays on the field. I mean, this card is extremely versatile because the battle phase, when the format's slowed down, the battle phase gets more important. That's where you get your pluses, and the back row is usually going to be 1-for-1s. So Black Falcon, the more important the battle phase gets, the more important Black Falcon gets. So I wouldn't cut him because he's the best defensive monster I've ever played because it's a quick effect. And it's not like you have to exceed or give anything up. And he's giving you tokens, which are what you're trying to do. So he's doing 2 things for you. Like, if you open him in Scapegoat, I think that's one of the best openings. It's just a little worse than opening Mega Raptor and Scapegoat. But it's about just as good. Then we play 3 Tetherwolf. We're only playing 3 Tetherwolf because we're playing the Scramble, I think. If I wasn't playing Scramble, I would cut the Tetherwolf to 2 because opening a Tetherwolf doesn't actually do anything for you, and if you open Tetherwolf and Scapegoat, then the Tetherwolf definitely isn't doing anything for you because you can't activate the Scapegoat because you only have 3 spots left. You also can't Pod Duality and summon a Tetherwolf, which I was playing Pod Duality back when, if you saw like the Trishula video, or the Mistworm if you want to call it, because we didn't end up getting Trish, so that I guess it's a good thing because I got Trished and I hated it. So if you saw that video, I was playing the Pod Dualities. Like, I was playing 2 or 3 at that point in time, and I was also playing 3 Harriers and 3 Warburins, but that's because we didn't have the 3 Scapegoats. So you can play the Dualities just to search the Scapegoat. I think that is totally plausible and it works, but it definitely conflicts with the Tetherwolf. Like, I've summoned Tetherwolf forgetting I can't special and it sucks. But that would let you summon a Scapegoat. But it's kind of backwards. So Tetherwolf, I wouldn't mind, if you're not playing the Scrambles, I would cut it to 2. I'd always play at least 1 because it's a good search off of Raptor to summon the token next turn. Sometimes you have to have the token before the battle phase, and that's when it's better than the Black Falcon. So if you need it in main phase 1, then you go for the Tetherwolf, but generally, you'll be fine getting the, I don't know. So then 2 Coltwing. You can either play 2 or 1. You can only get away with, I'm only playing 2 Harriers. Where's my Harriers? I already played the Harriers, but the Harriers and the Coltwings go together, and we can play 2, not a big problem because we have the 3 Scapegoats. So with the Scapegoats, setting the Coltwings off isn't as hard as it used to be. It used to be really expensive, like you're giving up 2 tokens, but now it's not as big of a deal. So you can play 2 and you'll probably be fine. Then the 1 Warburin, if you play Fires of Doomsday, like in your main deck, I would pump this up to 2. Going formula and generating the token, generating the token, so you can go into an Armades or a Catastor on their turn. Or I've also, if you have a Scapegoat, that's also going to let you Black Rose on their turn. So that's huge. Getting the Black Rose this format is going to be very like game changing with how people are going to be setting back row. Black Rose used to win games if you didn't have the warning for it, and Black Rose is going to win games again if you don't have the Fiendish Chain or the Veiler, and they can't Veiler you because you'll be on their main phase. So they're going to have a Fiendish Chain set, and that's it. So I think the play is very good, and so that's why I feel like you have to play one. And it's nice to be able to search a tuner whenever you need it with Raptor. Sometimes you need the tuner. Then we also play this tuner. I took this from the Karakuri build. The secondary effect of summoning a token isn't actually that viable, because if you don't have any monsters in your... It's like the same reason you can't play Gores in this deck. You think you can play Gores and it generates a token like, oh my god, that's so good. I heard Gores was good, so let's play it. But you'll never get, like when it went to 2 on the OCG list, like I was trying to, and you can never get that off. You always have a field. If they clear your field, then you're already lost, and a Gores token is not going to save you, probably. So, and I could just never get it off. I never had an empty field. Like, you have so many tokens that it's like your field's never empty. It's either never empty or all your cards are gone and you're dead. So the secondary effect's not that important, but the getting to summon from your hand is, and it's going to let you go into Beret. So these are going together. They're going together with the scrambles. If you're playing the scrambles, it's like these, oh, you can't see because of the glare. So we have those two, the 2 Hamstrat, and then the Saizon. I took this from the Karakuri build. I tried the Karakuri build, and it's really nice. If you're playing these guys, it's really nice to be able to go into the Saizon off the Beret, because Beret's effect, just as changing a monster's battle position, like that's good enough to play it. But then the special summoning, the Saizon, is it's just totally worth it. It's worth it to play the 1. Drawing it's not that bad, because then you can go into Armades. You have the tokens, so you can synchro with it. Like, it's not a problem. So I've been considering bumping this up. I haven't tried it yet, because if I bump this up to 2, that means I probably have to throw in Nispachi, or I mean the Karakuri build plays like 2 of these, 2 of those, and then 2 of the other ones, because this is a tuner, so you can't just like summon these. Like, if this wasn't a tuner, it'd be way better for this deck, because then you could like balance these out and normal this and then normal this, but you can't do that. So if you go into the Karakuri build and start playing multiples of these, then it's like you got to change the whole build. And then the problem I was having was I would have this guy, and then because you're playing all these Karakuri monsters, like you're playing 6 of them, 6 or 8, I mean, it's like your choice, 6, 7, 8, then you're going to have these guys in your hand, but you're going to not have the Mecha Phantom Beast you need. You'll just have Karakuri monsters. Or you're going to give up all of your Mecha Beast monsters, which you need to summon a Beret. So I didn't really like it. Like, sometimes you would draw those hands that were really good, but a lot of the time it was like it'd be really slow. It would just be slow, and it wouldn't be doing anything. You wouldn't be making tokens. You'd just be sitting there getting punished. So that's why I play the 1 and I play these 2. Like, it's stolen, and now you have the opportunity to do it, and you can explode. If you have 1 token on the field, you can explode into a Dracossack with 1 normal summon. There's like no other way to do that besides like a scramble. So it's like a very small investment in the deck, and it gives you the options, which is, I mean, that's what you want in a deck, is you want the flexibility, and that's what that gives you. So on to the spells. 2 Scramble, I've tried playing 1, I've tried playing 2. I almost feel like Scramble should be a side deck card. Like, that's why I'm hesitant to play 2. I almost want to play 1, but if you're playing against the right deck, it'll win you the game. But if you're playing against like a Bujin deck, or I don't know, any number of decks, Lightsworn generally, or who knows, like even like Fire Fist, sometimes they'll just like summon the 1 monster. Like, once people know Mecha Phantom Beasts and they know how good Scramble is, they're like, if I play against them and with another deck, I'm not going to summon 2 monsters just so they can't scramble me. And then it makes this card a dead card. Like, it should be a side card, I think, for special summoning decks, because then you can resolve it. But it's really hard to resolve this card sometimes. Like you'll just be sitting on it all game. You'll see if you play it. That's why the Draco, if you look at the Draco Sack combo, that's at least one good thing that it can do. So I'd make sure you know how to do that. Tribute the Draco Sack, chain the scramble. Like that's the only way you're going to get that off if they're playing around your scramble. Then we play 2 MSTs. I'd really like to play 3, but, oh, I'm sorry. These last 2 monsters are Veilers. I'm only playing 2 Veilers because they get cloggy. Same reason for the MSTs. These don't contribute to your strategy, and they're just countering the opponents, but what we're playing is a combo-based deck. Like, you need cards to generate tokens, and then you need monsters to do something with them. So it makes it very hard to play, like, side deck cards that don't work with your strategy, or main deck cards that are like MSTs and Veilers that counter your opponent. I mean, you're playing tokens, so it's like you're playing the lances on their turn anyways, to where they can't like destroy your monsters and stuff. So I think you can get away with only playing 2, because the tokens sort of act as like pseudo MSTs sometimes. Like they'll bait stuff out, and they'll protect your monsters from what you would normally want to like MST, so they can't play it. Like they're not going to be able to bottomless you or mirror force you. So like what you would normally try and hit with MSTs, you don't have to. But I mean, like you need to hit whirlwinds, and you need to hit like, I don't know, Inferno, like, I don't know. You need to hit stuff. So you need to play at least 2. Like Bujin or playing Kaiser Coliseum. Like you will lose if you don't draw MST. So good luck with that if you run into that. Like I just quit games if they do that crap. Then this 3 Scapegoat. That's obligatory. You'll see that these are all quick play spells. So like I was looking at cards. If you play like Black Wings, you know, they like blow stuff up. So this is a quick booster. You could even like side in a quick booster versus them, just to like search out a Scapegoat or search out a Scramble, because they're all quick plays. So if you're playing something that is just blowing you up, like back row, like Black Wings do, that could actually be an okay side card. I'm not sure yet, but it's a possibility. I mean, it'd be kind of weird. This deck wants to play. It wants to side weird cards. Like it wants to side creature swaps. It wants to side like Fires of Doomsday or like scrambles, like not normal cards, because it doesn't operate like a normal deck. 3 Recharge. This card is the best trap card because it lets you choose your token. So when they try and do something, then you summon the token and it counters it. So it's like playing a Lance, except it's generating tokens as well, and it's just as good as opening like a Fires of Doomsday with a Megaraptor because it makes 2. And it works with, this is the other way you'll set your scrambles off, is with the aerial recharges. Because this is the only one that makes the Mecha Phantom Beast tokens. You have to play 3, don't cut this at all, keep 3. Then this is going to be like the compulsory of our previous format. You have to play 3 Fiendish Chain. Once they cut all the good all the good traps, it's like this is the next go-to trap. So you have to play it. 2 Mirror Force. This is maybe the best trap in the deck. Do not cut this. You're generating tokens. If they don't kill your tokens, and they'll know this, they'll see the deck. It's just gonna, don't like consolidate your monsters when you have like a good token setup. There's no reason to. And once you start making those tokens, they have to try and kill them, or it's going to be apparent to them they're going to lose. So what they're going to have to do is like special summon all these monsters in attack position and try and kill the tokens, so that way they can get your monsters off the field. So when they do that, they can just mirror force them, and then they lose. So don't cut the mirror forces. You can, however, cut the D-prisons. When I went back to the tokens, I cut the D-prisons because they essentially, I mean, they're sort of doing the same thing. They're blocking your monster from getting killed. D-prisons have other uses, like versus Stardust and stuff, but I cut these for token generators. It's up to you. Try whatever you want, but this is solid. Like, that build wasn't working as well, so I don't know, just come back to this, try it, switch something else out. Then the 1 Bottomless and the 1 Solemn. I would assume everyone would be playing those. For the extra deck. Now the extra deck is going to change on your main deck a lot. There is absolutely no room in this deck for an extra deck, like for funny things. Like the funniest thing that you can put in here is a formula, and I almost want to take out the Catastor. Like there's a Star Eater in here, but you could take that or not. So if you're not playing the Warburin or you're not playing it token generators, take the formula out. I've taken it out before because sometimes you want the, I haven't really, you'll see, if you try and make an extra deck with this